Hey guys, it's real. The time has come. A Red Taylor's version. I'm not ready for it. Truth be told, I'm filming this on Monday, so 2 days before the video comes out. Everything goes well. And I could have filmed this way earlier. I've had the time, but part of me just hasn't been ready. Like, I have seen, like, basically, like, 9 out of 10 TikToks on my For You page have been about Red Taylor's version, and everyone is just broken. So I don't know if I can do this, but I am quite excited for it. If you've seen my Between Us video from like the Little Mix album, then you know how this is gonna go. It's gonna be more casual, a bit more vlog style compared to like my usual album reactions, just because most of this are things that we've heard already and just makes it easier on me in a way. But if you don't know, my Swiftie history is I've been like a casual Taylor Swift fan since like the Fearless era. I kind of dropped off doing the Reputation era, even though I think that's marketing wise a brilliant era, and I want to applaud her for that. Brilliantly thought out, but I just didn't really like the singles that came out, so I kind of just like dropped off there. And then Lover is like my favorite album of all, not one of my favorite albums of all time, which I know is blasphemy, but I adore Lover so much. So I that's kind of like the point where I've turned more into like the Swiftie side, and Folklore and Evermore I also really love. And then I kind of thought like maybe I should go like revisit her backlist, listen to Debut, which I've never listened to before, Reputation. But then I thought, why not just wait for the re-recordings, and this is where we are. I didn't do a video on Fearless, Taylor's version, because just when that came out I wasn't really making videos. That month was weird for me, but I did listen to it. I love it, so I'm excited to re-experience Red because I haven't listened to it in a while, so we'll see how much of it like comes back in my memory. Let's just get a listen. Okay, just quick note on Red, the song, because I mostly, like, of course I listened to the album Red, so I knew Red already, but I kind of got more like familiar with it, I guess, or like obsessed with it with the Fifth Harmony cover that they did right out of the X Factor of Red, which is like an acoustic like stripped down version, which is like very sad. So that's like kind of what's been Red in my mind. I just forgot how much fun it is because like this, oh, I love it so much. So yeah, just I needed to point that out because, you know, as time's happening, things change, and if you just like go back to how things were in the beginning, and I know that this is not the exact same as the original, but it's just, oh, I forgot how much fun the actual track is, and I love it. So let's move on. Okay, so I totally just like ran over the wheels there with I Know You With Trouble. But I Know You With Trouble is definitely one, when it was released, I absolutely adored, and then like over the years, kind of my love for it faltered a little bit. I don't know why, especially listening to it now. I don't know why. I do beg of someone, please make the GOAT remix like Taylor's version, please. We can't live without it. You know, just quickly, but All Too Well isn't as ingrained as my mind as some of the other songs on the album because I didn't like listen to it on repeat over the years. Like I totally get why this like stuck with the Swifties so long, but like I said before, like 9 out of 10 TikToks on my For You page are about Red Taylor's version. About 9 out of 10 of those are about All Too Well 10-minute version. So I know I know a lot of lyrics of that, and I have to say, this makes it sound like such a nicer song than it was originally. Like I'll talk about more when I arrive at the 10-minute version, but like this kind of sounds like a bittersweet ending to like a romance. That's gotta change. I already know that. Let's move on to 22, which I'm really looking forward to a particular part in this song. So let's just go for it. The song that made us all obsessed for turning 22, which in the past no one ever cared about. Like generally, even people who barely listen to Taylor Swift, when they turn 22, they still quote this song when they turn 22. It's weird. Okay, I love this. Obviously, it's a happy song. It's very fun and vibrant. But in case it wasn't obvious, I was looking forward to the Who's Taylor Swift Anyway live. And it delivered so well. It sounded great. I love these re-recordings. I need just a minute to process this. Why is no one talking about this? At least no one I've seen. Everyone else like caught up on All Too Well. Like I'm sure the 10-minute version is heartbreaking. I will get to it. But the pure sass that is Miss Taylor's voice on this song. Oh my god, there's some line, like, most of it is like sung the same, but like there are some lines that there was absolutely like 10 times more sass than there ever was. And I love it. I love it so much. So just a quick thing about the Lucky One that I don't really have ever seen anyone talk about, I think. But listening to it now, I feel like it very much is kind of like a precursor to the Last American Dynasty, which is on Folklore, some of my favorite songs of Folklore. What am I saying? This is my favorite song of Folklore, but kind of in a way that Taylor is like telling the story of like somebody else to kind of reflect what's happened to her in a way, and then also making a connection in the end. I don't know, it feels very reminiscent of the Last American Dynasty, the last great American Dynasty. I can't remember song titles. I can, but that one is just really long. So yeah, that's a thought that popped in my head, so I thought I'd share it. So let's move on to the first of 2 Ed Sheeran collabs. Has Changed is another one that I loved back in the day because I mostly remember the singles from this album, I'm gonna be completely honest. But I haven't really like revisited a lot since, and I don't know why. It's so sweet. I love it so much. I also feel like a lot has changed on this version, like just like the way it's sung and stuff, and I don't know, it makes it better. It does. I knew that Girl at Home had been like very much changed, and like I didn't remember it at all, but I love it. Like it sounds very 1989, which this is probably how Taylor envisioned the song to sound like from the beginning, but like she wasn't allowed to do it this way back in the day. But this is really fun. I really like it. Now that we have the State of Grace acoustic version, but like for the rest we've wrapped up like the original red tracks. I do have to say that I don't really remember them as well as I was hoping I would. Like with Feelers, I also had this thing, like I don't remember a lot of songs, but then when I like listened to it, I was like, oh, I remember this one, I remember this one, I remember this one. Didn't really have it that much with this, but you know, my memory isn't the most reliable thing in the world. You know what's so weird to me about Nothing New is that it's like 10 years old when it came out. Like it's old. It's so weird to think that back in the day already Taylor was thinking about like being too old for the industry and like thinking about how she was easily to be replaced soon. Like she's still around, you know? Back in Red, like yes, she was a household name, but like she wasn't the icon that she is now, you know? And it's so weird that she had written a song like this back then. And it also says a lot about like the ageism and the sexism of the world, you know? That a 22-year-old felt like she was too old for the industry. So yeah, I don't know. A part of me kind of wishes that this was released back in the day, but another part of me also know that Taylor would have been whipped to shreds for this song back in the day. Well, now everybody is like, she has a point, you know? So, you know, it's kind of like double in a way. Message in the Bottle was not what I expected, but it's so much fun, so I don't mind. Like, I really, really liked it. Okay, I Bet You Think About Me is 100% a new favorite, just like the sassiness of it, but it also sounds very, very country. I love it so much. It's 50s, okay, man. Okay, so if I want to talk about it all too well, I just have to say that this has significantly more streams than the rest of the album. Are you okay, Swifties? I know you've been waiting on this for a while, but are you okay? Like, please tell me you're okay, because it's significantly more. It's like, for a lot of songs, it's more than double. Are you okay? Really? But yeah, I really like this version. It didn't really feel like 10 minutes long. Like, yeah, it felt longer than like Your Average Song, but like All Too Well already is 5 minutes, so that's also longer than Your Average Song. But I generally just like didn't really feel like 10 minutes long, or like it was too long or anything, so I wish she could have released this as the original version. I mean, like, there's some really good lyrics in this, which I'm sure I don't need to tell you, any other Swiftie has told you already. And like I said before, this one feels more heartbreaking than the original. I feel like the original very has like this bittersweet tone to it. This one is just like, you are trash and you hurt me too much, and you know, a ballad. And yeah, that was Red Taylor's version. I've been here for a long time. I am sorry. I like started this video off with my sweater on and I took it off because it got too hot, and then I put it back on because it got too cold. I switched positions too many times. I apologize. I also don't know what this is gonna look like after editing, but we'll find that out together. I've never had this much footage after the end of a video, like honestly. I think there's almost like 3 hours. Help me. But anyway, I really loved this experience. Like I said, I don't have that great of a memory of Red from back in the day, so I got to discover a lot of these songs like it was the first time, and I had a fun time with that. I really like every single song in this album. It's really good, and yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I wish I could tell you more about like nostalgia and stuff like that, but I don't really have that for you today. But I really liked it. I loved all of the vault tracks. I thought they were all great. Honestly, like having these vault tracks released, I just always wonder like what else is in there. Like honestly, like can we just like in like 5 years time just like also release like an EP with like Lover in the Vault, Folklore from the Vault, and like Evermore from the Vault, because like that have to be songs. And I'm just curious, you know? And like she's never gonna re-record those 3 albums, but like there have to be songs in the vault, and I want to know which ones there are, because every like from Fearless and from this, like both like all of the vault song was so good. Do you have to say that I like the vault songs from this album a little bit more, because I feel like from Fearless Taylor's version, the only one I kind of still listen to is Mr. Perfectly Fine, but maybe in like a couple of months time I'll be listening to most of these, who knows. But I really had a great time listening to this album, and I'm very much blaming younger me for never listening to this album more, because even like the songs that I remember, I was like, oh my god, this is so much better than what I remember. Like, how did I fall out of love with this song? So yeah, I really like this, and the re-recordings are just like a very fun thing, and just like the fandom in general, so I can't complain about that. And yeah, those are my thoughts on Red Taylor's version. Even if I didn't say a whole lot, I apologize. But I hope you still enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Red Taylor's version. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Good.